I just wanted to touch on this first week, really, since we did this changeover, and there's still some clunky things that are going on. So, Chris and Casey were emailing me this morning. Huntington isn't showing up in your jumbo options, and it should be. And so I've got an email into them to find out when, like, they need to add that back in.
No,
There
they're gone
might
on
be-
everything, dude.
What's that?
It's gone on everything.
Yeah, I don't know why that shouldn't happen, that because we're approved individually. So I'm sure it's just a lot of this is, to be clear, because we're running into it in a lot of areas, because it's new for VIP to do what they're doing. It's really weird if you think about how this transition was conceived, because nobody's ever done it like this before, where like we're still going to be connected and we're still doing business together, but we're separating at the same time. And it's just coming up with all the people at corporate are confused about what they can and can't do, what they should and shouldn't do. And I'm getting a lot of both myself and Dan Kataya, because it seems like Dan's like managing it on the VIP side and I'm managing it on our side. And I get a lot of, Dave, could you tell VIP and then that's what VIP is doing to Dan. And I was like, gosh, damn, calm down. They've never done this before, and neither have we. We'll figure it out. Just let's work through the problems and we'll work through them and we'll get things solved. And so, and then, you think you thought of everything. You have this massive project list. And of course, there's stuff we missed. We missed yesterday that just because we do so few of the Metro Denver DPA deals, that it wasn't on anybody's radar. And as of right now, we could have it available. But as of right now, it's not available. Because the issue is the investor has to be willing to do third-party origination business with VIP for them to be able to. So that's it. It's just some investors allow that, some investors don't. And then VIP has to want to be in that business with that investor, right? So VIP doesn't want to be in the Chaffa TPO business. And so that's why we can do TPO business through PRMG. We could do it with VIP, but they're like, we don't want to do Chaffa TPO. We don't want that product. And so it's just figuring out as we go through the process, it's just figuring out what we can and can't do. Just remain calm. I want to do everything that we used to be able to do. And we'll work through as many solutions as we possibly can as they come up, and we'll get things solved. But we're making really good progress on everything. The fundings have gone off without a hitch, which is obviously, to me, the most important stressful thing the first day, because I was like, oh my God, these loans have to fund. This can't be screwed up. And they weren't. So that was a win. And now that first day we couldn't fund on the 31st for the first, but since then we're funding the day before. So that's all taken care of. Really big news, I should have mentioned this, a big win is that I had already reached out to, I work with Richard Milligan, who you may see him on social media or part of the Go Coaching platform, but he's the recruiting coaching guru that I've been working with for the last year or so. And I worked with him to bring that girl on that we hired that, flamed out after 2 or 3 days. But I reached out to him actually about 2 weeks ago, and I said, hey, I want to get somebody else hired as soon as possible. Not like on August 1st, but as soon as I can, because it's going to take some time to onboard him and everything. And so he started the search again, because I'd already paid him to do this. And he referred me to somebody, that I interviewed and made an offer, and she's accepted the offer, that he had placed 3 years ago with Axia Home Loans, trained her on his whole system. And then, so she was working at Axia for the last 3 years. And then Axia, I haven't really seen this in the press, but Axia was bought by Planet Home Lending, and they just let the entire recruiting team go with about a week. Nobody knew what was happening. And on a Friday, they told them, hey, next week, you can no longer offer whatever they were offering to recruits. And then, and they're like, what's up? And they're like, nothing, just like, we're just not going to do that for a while. And then the following Friday, she was laid off. The whole team was laid off, and with no notice. So kind of harsh. But I'm really excited. She's a freaking 10 and she has a degree in she has a graduate degree in human resources. So I think she can really be instrumental for helping us grow, not only on the sales side, which will be our primary focus, but also recruiting for operations, recruiting for sales support. Like when you guys are ready to bring an LOA in, she's somebody that can help source that. Really talented, and just what Richard's system is building relationships with recruits over a period of time and trying to make it relational instead of transactional, which is obviously what we believe in. So I'm really excited about bringing her on. That's really exciting. She'll start it's going to be a couple of weeks before we get her started, because Amy and the team are still working through, like we've also hired somebody for a replacement for Sarah. Somebody's going to be starting at the front desk with like a lot more, Sarah's my niece and she was awesome, but somebody with a lot more executive assistant experience as well as office management experience. So we're going to be able to take a lot of Amy's more mundane tasks off of her desk and give Amy more capacity, which is important to me. And then, and she'll be able to handle some things for me as well. And then we've also hired somebody who's going to start at the same day in operations to handle all the VOEs that Sarah was doing, in addition to becoming an additional support person in the operations department. Because we've picked up the responsibilities for shipping and this entire, funding, wiring, shipping process is new to us. Thankfully, Sherry has a lot of experience with it, and so does Kim and Renee. So, but I'm looking at it going like, what are you doing? How does this work? And why do we do this stupid thing with the note? And it's just really strange, the process, but I'm learning it. And so, so we need extra hands in that department as well. So, so far it's working really well, but every day it's going to be like this. And then we're moving everything is moving on exactly the way we would like it to on, Encompass, the product and pricing engine, Loan Vision, and which is the accounting software, and the CRM. We had a call yesterday with Pavle about the data transfer. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, but I think there might be a way for us to get our future tasks transferred that you guys have scheduled without having to go in and recreate them all. And so he seems to think that there is. All of our workflows can be transferred and exported and imported, so they don't have to be rebuilt. So, because we can rebuild them in the new system the way you have them now, but if they could be exported and imported into the new system, that would be way faster and way easier to do. So,
if
so
they
we have a
can't figure that out, sorry, Dave, if they can't figure that out, are we responsible for exporting our future tasks, or are you guys going to do that and give us like a spreadsheet?
We'll figure out some way to get it in there. We're just trying to, like, if it can be exported and imported in there without us having to do a manual task, like, okay, we got to go find our
Yeah.
future tasks. That's the goal, is that we don't have to do that. But
Dave,
Pavle
remember
made
when
it
we did
sound
that
like
call?
Pavle made it sound like it could be done. So,
Sorry, dude.
so that was like, oh, great news. So, we're also working on, I had a call with the product and pricing engine people yesterday. The other thing that was part of my, what I wanted from them was the rate alerts that you guys have already set up in Optimal Blue. We have to have a system for doing that. That was never going to be exportable. So that is going to have to be done manually. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to be able to get that data, and it might be one loan at a time, out of Optimal Blue into the new product and pricing engine. And we have access to VIP's platforms until December 31st as part of the settlement, as part of the buyout stuff. So it's not like on October 1st, you won't be able to log into Spear. You just won't use Spear for anything other than going in and referencing things. So, so that's it. It's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts, and obviously my focus is making sure that we do as little as possible to disrupt your business, and everything we can to not create any disruptions. It's going to be impossible to do 100%. I wish that it was possible, but I won't make up stories, and I'll tell you the truth, and we'll do whatever we can to get things done for you. So, that's it. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you want to ask me about stuff? I'm still waiting for Dan Kataya to respond to me about the Huntington deal.
I have, just so everybody knows, I'm doing my first Chaffa deal with the TPO. And it's a little clunky. So just, if you've got one, give me a heads up. I'm meeting with Kelly and Ashley this morning to try to get some better instructions on how to do it. But if you don't have a login, I would recommend that you reach out to PRMG to at least get that set up so that you can see the platform, and then hopefully we'll have some better instructions for you before you do one.
Yeah, Jacqueline said she would just help with it. She goes like, yeah, the training was like, I mean, we were on it. They just sounded really helpful, and they sounded like, wow, this would be great. Let's just call them when you're ready. And then Jacqueline started to run into issues, and but it doesn't sound like it's going to be that complicated once you know the steps. So it's just knowing the steps. And so Jacqueline's going to work on building us a set of instructions for here's how you do the Chaffa loan at PRMG.
Thanks, Jack. So that's the only change for now, right? So for locking an FHA loan, we can still do it the old way.
Yeah, FHA, VA.
Jumbo, whatever shows up.
Jumbo's a little
in the
clunky because
blue.
we're still trying to figure out which jumbo investors, like for sure Redwood, for sure MaxX. That's what I know for sure. It looks
And-
like
and
some other
Huntington,
things
right?
are showing up that maybe aren't supposed to show up. And Huntington should be there. I don't know why it's not. So I'll get an answer to that and get you guys an email later this morning.
Has anyone
Yeah,
done
so-
a loan with MaxX? Is that the one that shows up with like 5 different versions of MaxX? It says like
Yeah.
Morgan Stanley, Solar, like what the hell is that? Do we have any idea? I don't.
I don't.
They're usually not the best price, so I've never had to use one of them. But
Yeah.
so
So
I
it's
don't
just
know.
Redwood.
Redwood, but Truist is showing in there right now. I sent that to Dave this morning because that is showing, and their pricing did come back for a long time. Their pricing's been bad, but
Mm-hmm.
so who knows? I'm guessing, Dave, that that's just showing as a mistake.
I think I think that's a mistake, but I'll get confirmation.
Okay.
Do we have access to Onslow as an investor? They're really good pricing for investment property.
Mm-hmm.
Onslow.
Yeah.
The way that they did this is they went through and they said, who are you? They went back like the last 6 months, and they got every loan that we closed, who we closed them with, and went down their list of who they do TPO business with and said, you have this, you have this, you have this. The only one that was on the list that we don't have was Chase, because Chase doesn't allow TPO business. And so if you've never done a loan with Onslow, nobody checked. And so that would be why I don't know the answer. But
Is that list something that like Ashley can type up and send out to us?
think so.
It'd be nice to know who we currently have and who we're working towards.
It
Just so
should be
we
really
don't-
simple. It should just be what shows up in OB. That's what I don't want you to have to go like, oh, but I don't have that. It should be just like what's in OB. What's in OB should be what you be able to lock.
Yeah,
So-
but we're quoting jumbo rates to like, let's say in September for Redwood, and then it's about to go away. We probably shouldn't do that, right?
No, because if you lock them with us, if you lock them on this, it's no different than what we did. So everything you locked in July, we're still closing the way we closed. If you lock it in this, if you lock a Redwood deal inside that channel before October 1st, or you're going to be able to close it.
No, I'm saying when we're quoting a rate, let's say mid-September and it's Redwood jumbo, but that client doesn't go under contract till like mid.
Yeah. Then it won't be available. The answer is it
Yeah.
won't be available.
That's what I'm saying. We need like a list of like, this is what's going to be available and what, you know what I mean? So people don't misquote, because the next best jumbo is like MaxX and it's 0.5% higher. So it's like, you don't want to
Well,
get
we'll
caught.
have other jumbo available then though, Chris. Like it won't
Okay.
we'll have other product available. So it's just the process of when that we're going to actually disconnect from the VIP platform and then have our own platform that we can sell all of our loans to. and again, you know, it's August 9th. We're 9 days into this. The good news is we only have to put up with this uncertainty for till the end of September. That's what I'm looking at. It's like going, I only got like 6 more weeks of this, 7 more weeks of this. So we'll get through it, but I will get some clarity about what I can already tell you. You will not have Redwood. We will not have Redwood as an investor on October 1st but we could still sell you could still sell Redwood through VIP after October 1st.
It's
To be
just
clear-
underwritten through them.
Pardon me?
They just underwrite it at VIP.
It's going to be just like it'll be a TPO because Redwood approved VIP to do TPO loans.
Oh, sweet.
So we're not approved, but they're approved.
Well, that's helpful because if we know we have Redwood before and after, then you can pre-approve by Redwood guidelines. Them and Chase are the easiest to use. I think I was concerned about, maybe Chris was too, that, you know, Redwood, you could do a 45 DTI, you can do a 49 DTI jumbo, and no one else that I know of you can do that. So like you have to be very careful on your pre-approvals now, because if they go under contract in September, October, you're screwed if you don't have Redwood. So that would be helpful, a list of who we can lock with. It doesn't matter if it's an OB or not, because maybe there's some issues, it sounds like, an OB. And then who we're working towards, like, hey, we're very close on PennyMac, right? They have a jumbo product and everything else that we normally use. And maybe that can be something that Ashley's updating like every week, so that we know as we get closer, okay, are we narrowing down our options, or do we have more options than we thought maybe?
Got it.
No, Dave, if you're saying that we can still do TPO with VIP after October 1, how long will they allow us to do that?
As long as we want.
As long as we want, are they
Yeah,
going to
because
charge
they
us extra on
want-
the pricing for that, or how are they going to structure that?
They want our business, right? So they know that their pricing needs to be sharp, right? So and they won't get our business if they're not. So it's just a question of it's really going to be product availability. We'll have PennyMac. We won't have PennyMac jumbo delegated. We'll have PennyMac conforming delegated. So you're not going to want to do that. You're not going to want to do deals through VIP on that. Redwood, as an example. So VIP can offer us TPO product that maybe we don't qualify for, and Redwood would be a good example of that. And then it can go on in perpetuity. So we don't have to like cut that. We don't have to stop working with VIP ever. They want our business. So and they know what their business is. They know what their market is, which is they're going to be just like every other investor today, whether you realize it or not. Every investor prices every day based on their desire for volume. They lower their prices when they want more loans coming in. They raise them when they want to slow it down. It's just what they do all day, and it's what everybody does all day. So, in the middle of the day, Dan was telling me this story where they had their VA pricing really aggressive. What was it? 3 or 4 days ago, and they took 20 locks on TPO. They get like 20 a month, maybe. And they took 20, or maybe they get 10 a month, and they got 20 locks in about 5 hours. And they're like, what happened? And then was like, oh shit, our price is fucked up. And so they immediately raised it, and they stopped, because like they have, hundreds of loan officers around the country that are getting their pricing, and they're picking off the rate that they want to pick off. And so that's what every investor does. When you see an investor move like that, it's exactly what they all do this game, where when the market's rallying, they're not going to rally with the market unless they really want to try to capture as much market as they possibly can. They're going to rally slowly, because if the market goes back the other way and they're caught not having enough of a hedge position on to cover all of those locks. So they're slow to improve prices, and they're very quick to make them worse when the market's going the other way, because they're protecting themselves. What everybody does. It's what everybody's always done.
That's why, was it Chase that doesn't like VA Earls or FHA streamlines? Like,
Whichever,
their rate is like 20 points.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they can say that they offer it, but no one would ever sell them that loan. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, on investor side, can you look at Bayview, I think it was, for jumbos? Because I've done a
Who?
couple. Bayview, I think it's like Lakeview's jumbo branch. I think
I think you're right.
they have like smoking jumbo 15-year fix. I've done a couple of those.
Okay.
Just, I know you're doing it, man. Thanks for all your hard work. And I'd say for all those people that weren't here in the transition from Hallmark to VIP, this is like way, way easier. Because that was a complete, like, you're cut off. New CRM, new everything. This is a much easier transition.
Well, and the CRM transition should be pretty freaking easy because it's the same platform. It's exactly the same platform. And I'm building all your same dashboards. I'm building all your same workflows. It should be pretty easy. So what else?
I think those are the things that would be the most helpful, for sure. It's
Okay.
just a list. And then
Before and after.
TBD approvals. You want to touch on that a little bit? What we were going through with Polly yesterday, like we
Yeah,
said,
Polly thought she couldn't underwrite any jumbo pre-approvals. And then did you hear back? Because I talked to Kataya,
she
he's
said
like,
she would yesterday afternoon, you know, by the time it got sorted out, she's like, I'll try and get to it tomorrow. Of course, they want to go shopping this weekend. So I'm like, okay, thanks.
is it a variable income deal?
Hmm?
Is it variable income?
I think they have some commissions that I think we wanted to just get an okay on. I'm sure she'll get to it.
She
She
will.
loves me.
I'll try to get to it. Thanks for your help.
That's just what she's told Chelsea. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, it's going well. The fact that we're going to have Salesforce, I think, for 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months until the end of the year, right? The old Salesforce, that'll be huge because you can just make sure that everything.
It's always easy to
right
miss something.
away.
I think I don't want to promise anything, but I think we can export the notes too. Pavli seems to think we could. I was like, okay, I have to have Spotify feel the same way. And I'm talking about all your old notes, like stuff from a year ago or 2 years ago on a file that you closed that I would, if it was me, I'd love to still have those notes.
Yeah, G
So-
wants his playlist transferred.
What's that?
I thought you said Spotify. Sorry.
Did I say Spotify? I meant,
That's okay. I don't even have a Spotify account, so I'm in the same boat.
I meant Salesforce.
I have another clarifying question. I think Ashley said she's working on some sort of like the hub type version of us, like products and.
Yeah.
Sweet. And do we still sign into all regs the same?
Until you can't.
Okay. All right. I was wondering, I was like, I'm probably just never going to get kicked out of there, but we'll see what happens.
What about MMI?
I
Until you
logged in this
can't.
morning and it worked.
Until you can't.
I mean, list reports is better than MMI anyway.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh,
Okay.
did you want to talk about changing the date maybe for this?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Giuseppe suggested Thursdays. I'm cool with whatever you guys, whatever would work better for you. You brought up a good point.
And I'm fine with
Because-
Fridays too. I just thought, you know, this is the day that if someone's going to take a day off or they're going to play golf with a realtor or, you know, go to a closing, right? It's more likely to be on a Friday morning than any other morning. So just to get attendance up.
Well, next Friday I'm on an airplane to California,
See?
or next Thursday, I mean.
Oh. But you would have booked your flight for Friday, probably.
I
if our
would've-
call was-
But I'm pretty much planning on working while I'm there this week. I'm there from the 15th to the 25th, but I'm planning on working every day. I don't think I can not work, but you want to look at the 22nd for our first one?
Well, we don't have to change it. I was just throwing that out there.
What does
Like,
everybody think? You want to vote?
Fridays are always busy as hell for me. Like that's my like realtor follow-up day. Like I got a lot of stuff going, and I usually play golf.
So would you rather not do Friday, Chris?
I prefer like Thursday or Wednesday. Yeah.
Jay, what do you think?
Thursday works good.
Jack,
Thursday.
Thursday? Casey?
Tribe has spoken.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
agree.
a politician. I'm getting votes.
Christine?
Yay.
Thursday's good.
Well, we got like a majority here. Dean
And that other guy.
and that other guy? Can't hear either one of you, so.
Nerd alert.
Thursday is what we're saying.
Okay, let's try Thursday.
Do it.
Actually, what time's my flight? Yeah, I can't do it. Plan on the 22nd. We'll take next Friday off and then we'll plan on the 22nd. Unless you want to talk Friday morning and just to do some updates, maybe it'd be good for us to get together. Let's plan on getting together next Friday morning on the 16th. And we'll just do abbreviated everything and we'll just do another update for you guys so I can answer questions and you guys can share what you're experiencing and we go from there. Okay?
The weekly updates would be awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Hey,
What's
just
that?
really,
Just yeah, the weekly updates, like where we're at, kind of.
Yeah,
Very helpful. Thanks.
let's plan on that.
Do you think
yeah,
you could-
really quick though, I had something on in certain, because you mentioned it earlier, with people doing gratitudes, in terms of the refinances, when we're pulling payoffs, if we have the borrower pull a payoff, that doesn't trigger anything. Right? Most borrowers can log in and you can get your payoff
On
straight
payoff.
from your
See what
online
happens.
account.
Yeah, but what can we use it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It might internally trigger some. I don't know. They, you know.
you just have to make sure the good through dates accurate. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest issue with borrower pulled payoffs is they always mess up the good through date. Or not.
Yeah.
know,
I mean, it's an extra thing to ask them for, but if it protects it and you just talk to them about that and say like, hey, this is why I'm going to have you do this, just to protect you from getting a whole bunch of other calls so that you don't get inundated. They'll go, oh, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, just put it in Flowify when you ask for docs. Just like pull your own payoff, please.
I don't know that everyone's online portal is as easy to do it, but I've seen some where you can pull them pretty simple, just as easy as a mortgage statement.
Well, I mean, you
Just a
need them for
thought.
VA, you need them for FHA refis if you're doing some kind of a streamlined deal before you even submit it to underwriting.
Really?
I think so, don't you?
A payoff?
I mean, you
Because
could do
that's how you have to do that, those worksheets,
I think you can just use
a refi breakdown.
just the mortgage statement, right? I didn't
Oh, cool.
pay off, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm probably wrong. I mean, that's like such a small percentage of loans, but you know, those streamlines are the easy ones to get, you know, as soon as rates drop.
Well, I have an Erlen process, so I'll have to submit it to underwriting, so I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Update next Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
Right on. All right, guys, thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks,
I
everyone.
will see you at noon.